Hey YouTube, wanted to do a quick review on a new watch I got. So this is actually kind of a new thing for me. I'm a watch collector. Really like watches, but I've always been more in the automatic mechanical space. Never really into the digital type watches, but maybe about 6 months ago, or maybe around New Year's or so, I picked up a Garmin Vivo Active 4 and I really liked it. Been using and found myself wearing that more than any of my actual other watches, and kind of adjusted to the kind of digital watch space. And I recently sold the Vivo Active, and I have actually a Phoenix 6 coming, but I kind of had a small interest in maybe getting one of these kind of survival watches. If you've seen some of the things on my channel, I kind of always like having cool kind of survival gear, whether it's knives or electronics, or this watch kind of appealed to me just due to all the features it has, being solar powered, altimeter, barometer, compass. It just seemed like a pretty darn cool toy to have. And as I was kind of looking at them, I was looking on Amazon, the eBay used market, etc. Coincidentally, a crazy sale popped up on Amazon, and it was like felt like it was a sign for me to buy one. So I instantly bought one. I was kind of torn between this is the PRW-3510Y-8CR. They had the equivalent of this watch with a, well, I guess a regular type display. This is a negative display, and it was, I believe, $20 cheaper. I think it was like $20 cheaper, $30 cheaper. I can't remember. It was a little bit cheaper. This one actually, I believe, was $120. The other one was $99. So yes, this was $20 more for this display, but I just kind of like the stealth look and the kind of the OD green type color scheme on this one, so I ended up going for this one. I was a little nervous about the display, but the display's been great. I have no issues at all with legibility reading it. It actually is very similar to how, if you're familiar with the Garmin watches, they have that kind of washed out look that actually performs better in sunlight versus a darker room. And this one is very similar. So if I put a light over it, you can kind of see how vibrant it becomes. And as I move the light away, it does kind of dim down. But um, I've had no issues reading this watch at all. So legibility wise, if you're worried about the negative display, I wouldn't be. I think it's very, very easy to read. Now, overall, it is obviously it's a chunkier watch than I'm kind of accustomed to. Um, we can do some quick measurements here just to kind of give you guys an idea on size. Let's zero this out. So in terms of thickness, you're looking at about 14 millimeters. If we look at the case diameter on a diagonal, it's about 51 and change. At its thickest point, if you measure from the sensor, it's about 53. The lugs on this thing are, I believe, 22. Yep, 22 millimeter lugs. Lug to lug, you're looking at about, this screw to screw, about 54 lug to lug. So it's got some beefy dimensions, but it's pretty darn light. So in terms of weight, you're looking at 91 grams. So it's a little more than I thought, because it feels a little lighter and it does wear pretty comfortable. When it first arrived, it comes in a, I was a little intimidated at first in figuring out how to use it. And when I first opened the box, just to kind of give you guys an idea what's included, you get this little mini encyclopedia. I mean, this thing is massive. Who the hell is going to read this thing? And not only is it massive, you got this kind of, type setup where you can't really keep pages open very easily, and it's just like tiny print. So to be honest, I didn't even bother with this. I think that it would take me longer to try to go through the booklet, and I just kind of started playing with it and realized it's actually very intuitive. It took me maybe about a half hour, and I probably picked up all the function I need to. I mean, I figured out how to set the time, change my location, within a few minutes of playing with it. So it is very pretty intuitive. You have 3 buttons right here. These are dedicated to your compass, barometer, altimeter, so you can kind of quickly press these to kind of, get your readings with the push of a button. And then you have your kind of home button right here. This kind of cycles through all the modes and gets you back into time mode. And then here you can kind of change the upper display. So if you see, I kind of have the barometric pressure up there right now, but you can have the date 2 different ways or the pressure. And then this one you can kind of cycle through. This is your sunset, sunrise. You can see what today's date. Today is what sunset is at the bottom, which is 5:49, and then sunrise today was at 7:19. Today's date, and you can actually, what's cool is you can actually see that it's showing you can see the date, but if you want to see tomorrow, you can actually, right there. So see, now that's tomorrow's, that's the 30th, so you can actually go ahead and cycle through what the sunset, sunrise are going to be. So if you're looking to plan, you can kind of go through that, and you can also go backwards. So if you want to review what it was yesterday, you can as well. So kind of cool, you can do that. And then this is to receive, I believe this is to, well, I think I pressed the altimeter, hang on. So stopwatch, timer, alarms, world time, so you can have a dual time zone. I just keep it at UTC. And this, I believe, is last time it received a signal. So you can kind of see here, received. So it looks like, so this is the atomic, I think they call it multiband. So you get, it sets with the atomic clock, so you know you always have the good time. And it gives you confirmation of when it connected or when it adjusted. So it looks like at 1:05 a.m. it received. So, and now we're back to timeout. So like I say, it's pretty darn, I figured it out probably within maybe, 15, 20 minutes of playing with it. It's pretty darn intuitive. So that manual, I don't know, maybe you need it. And of course you got a bezel that you can turn as well to help you with your compass readings. So overall, I'm very happy with this watch considering the price, especially. That's what really won me over. That price, honestly, I kind of wish I bought both now. I bought the regular display and this negative display, but these sold up pretty quick, so I was pretty fortunate that to get one. So this would be pretty cool to have, kind of an outdoor watch. I like to go fishing, so something I can kind of wear outdoors, I think would be cool. Kind of curious how see what's going to happen, because like I said, I just ordered my Phoenix. I got the Phoenix 6 Solar. So we'll see how much wrist time this gets once I get my Phoenix, because that one's going to be kind of in the same space, but we'll see. Size-wise, to give you guys an idea how it compares, so some of the more common watches. So here is a Seiko Turtle, so it kind of gives you an idea about relative size-wise. So obviously the Turtle's heavier. This is bigger, and the one thing I'll point out about the Casio is, for lefties like me, I wear my watch on my right hand, and this sensor is a little annoying. I kind of wish maybe, I don't know, they placed it in a more neutral spot so that, if you wear it on your left hand, you're good, because it kind of points away from your wrist. But for me, it kind of gets in the way a little bit. So I kind of wish maybe they kept lefties in mind, perhaps, and maybe put it somewhere else so you can kind of see that, see if it does kind of hit it, so it kind of gets in the way. I kind of always wish that maybe they put it maybe like at the 10, 11 o'clock position, so it kind of angles, or maybe put it right here. Over here is the light, but over here, I think would have been a good place for it potentially. Maybe put the sensor like that way, because then whether you wear it on your right hand, it points up, or here it points up. I felt like that would have been a more neutral place to put it. So that's really the only con I have with this watch, is that it's not really lefty minded, but otherwise, very happy with the watch. So Seiko Turtle, kind of get an idea of what it looks like size wise. Let's look at the Omega Speedmaster. Again, the Speedmaster feels heavier, especially now they put this steel bracelet on it. But you can kind of see how much size difference there is. The Speedmaster is a little, I guess I'd say thick, but the type of glass it has on it kind of protrudes a little bit, giving it a little bit of a thicker feeling. What else do we got here? Tudor Pelagos. So, I mean, basically every watch I pull up here, obviously the Casio is going to be the bigger, chunkier watch of the group. But those are really kind of the ones I can compare it to. I mean, I think my biggest watch is the Turtle, just because of the cushion case. And of course, if you look at like a pretty common Seiko SKX, so you can kind of get an idea. So yeah, it is a larger watch, but pretty darn comfortable. I mean, for me, like I said, this sticks out. If not for that, it'd be very comfortable. So for someone that wears your watch in left hand, I think you'd really like to feel this watch. That's pretty much all I have to say on it. You haven't really put it through its paces yet, so I can't really comment on how it kind of performs out in the field, and it might be a while before I get a chance, given that it's November and I'm in Chicago. It's not exactly fishing weather or kind of very outdoorsy type of weather, so it might be a while before I have a chance to kind of see how it does out in the wild and test the compass, etc. But yeah, any questions, let me know, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye. Thanks for watching.